enticing but deadly. Part heaven, part hell, fabled city of ambitious, fiery men and beautiful, fierce women.
But for a brief moment in time, there was nothing like it. Shanghai, gorgeous, magical, brilliant collision between East and West, between old China and the coming revolution, between those in love with money and those just in love, between the powerless and those with the power of life and death. Behold the phantom! Like faded photographs, hidden away.
Hidden away, hidden all forgotten, drunk.
The city's siren calls out like a song, irresistibly, drawing to her the bold and quivered youth who dares to test his fate and fortune.
My name is Lam Pan. I was born in Wenguo, 16th year, in the Western calendar of 1916, in the province of Guangdong, in the village of Guanmen, southern China. When I was a young boy, my father was arrested for being poor, a vagrant. In our village square, he was put in a cage with his head above the frame so that he must stand until he cannot stand no more. And when his legs finally gave out, I watched him till the end, and I vowed that I would never be poor like him.
In this world, a man must stand tall, make something of himself. That is all that matters. That is all that matters.
Yes, that is the lesson I learned early in life. All that I want, everything I intend to be, you can see in the distance, just beyond my reach, like a dream, a vision. And to get there, I must not lose my gaze, and I must work.
My mother, like her mother and her mother before her, was a servant, little more than a slave, expendable. If her master so desired, she could be beaten, raped, even killed. My mother endeavored to be as invisible as possible. She stooped, made herself small, kept her eyes on the ground, spoke in a whisper. She was more a ghost than a real person. And as a child, I vowed that I would be no man's servant.
探探君，风发云，草莓饼，糯米糍。
Oh, mama, take me to the Dragon Boat Festival, selling sweets on the streets, rice balls, sticky rice balls, sweet bean biscuits, and yummy lotus buns.
Yummy lotus buns.
But no, I'm a big boy, mama. Rather spend our chin buying chickens, watch them grow big and fat and sell them for some cash. How much you gonna make? 100 cheen, 200 cheen,
300 Chin, and more!
I have always felt as a big brother to my handsome friend Pan. On the day when we watched his father die in that cage, from that day forward, he would speak with the stutter. There were many times when I had to get into fights with mean kids who made fun of him. But don't worry, Pan. We're poor now, but one day you and I will be rich men, wearing fine clothes with beautiful women on our arms.
One day, my mother did not come home. Disappeared, like a ghost. It was too much of a burden to keep both myself and my brother, and so my father said I must go live with my aunt in Shanghai. She was poor and had little time for me, so I learned to fend for myself, and I learned 1,000 different ways to use my fortunate good looks to pry money from the pockets of foolish men. A girl must use her wits to make her a way. One day I found a job singing at a little place run by a very unusual man who became like a father to me. I would sing for artists, politicians, crime bosses, captains of industry. Yes, many powerful men came to see me sing at Wangshu.
I was born into wealth, luxury, opulence, privilege. My lineage goes back centuries. In Europe, you were referred to me as blue blood. Growing up, I became a scholar of all things Chinese, and I collected cultural treasures, manuscripts, works of art. I keep them, preserve them, adore them. In a way, they are my lovers.
Beware, beware, the storm is coming to old Shanghai, grand Shanghai.
Yes, the storm. The People's Revolutionary Storm is coming. And I fear that one day, all that is beautiful, delicate, flawed, precious, and rare, all these exquisite wonders will be trampled into the mud, and mocked, and pissed on, and ignorance will masquerade as wisdom, and the world will be turned upside down. But in the meantime, I do what I can to allow beauty to flourish in whatever way I can.
The first step in my grand plan is to get to the city of Shanghai. I know there that I will make my fortune. But Lao was not so poor and beat me to it.
Money and women falling from the sky like rain. All you desire can be yours. Money and women falling from the sky like rain. All you desire can be yours in old Shanghai, grand Shanghai.
He got to Shanghai first and wrote me letters of the wonders of the infamous city. But I worked at all kinds of enterprises, doing everything in my power to save enough money until finally I found myself on a steamboat headed towards Shanghai.
Old Shanghai, grand Shanghai, Pearl of the East, Paris of the Orient.
Look, the buns and such buildings, I've seen them in pictures. They reach to the sky and tickle the white bellies of the clouds themselves. In such a place, what can a man not accomplish?
Grand Shanghai, Pearl of the East, Paris of the Orient.
past that, Pan made his way to Shanghai and to my humble club where his destiny awaited.
This city is a place where people live in luxurious dreams and die in drunken happiness. With your looks and my knowledge of Shanghai society, we will make big money together. Drink up.